Phones are made for every kind of audience these days. It's like YouTube channels. If you're into a specific thing, you will find a whole channel dedicated only to that topic. That's also the case with smartphones, and this time we will try to shoot around the different needs and what is best for what purpose. Hi everyone, I'm Gordon MC and you're watching GizChina News. So let's see. First, we have nothing. I mean, literally nothing. Wait, let me put it in other words. Time magazine just gave the innovative smartphone design prize to OnePlus co-founders Carl Pei's new invention, the Nothing Phone 1. The design brings back times when transparent cases were a thing, but this time even cooler with LED lights around the internal parts, like the camera and the wireless charging module. These take some space though, so it has an 8.3mm thickness, but it's really bearable if we consider how unique this phone is. It has a so-called glyph interface, which is said to refer to the full picture with a very distinctive lights, haptics and original sound effects, which all operate together and make even a notification a cool experience. To support that, it has a 6.55-inch FHD Plus OLED screen with 120Hz refresh rate and decent hardware inside. Above all, we really appreciate that it has its own identity and not ripping off a super selling phone. To read the full specs and more of the story of the Nothing Phone, click on the first link below in the description. Samsung and Apple seems to be the David and Goliath of the debate for who rules the smartphone market. But in this fight, the roles change continuously. We talk a lot about iPhone 14 Pro Max and Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, but some recent benchmark and real-life tests showed progress in the fight's current state. Apple beat Samsung at Geekbench's score by 4, both at single and multi-core score. The same happened with the machine learning benchmark, where iPhone doubled down on Galaxy. Samsung lost at Antutu scoring as well, so as at 3D Mark benchmark. And if that wouldn't be enough, real-life testing showed that it boots up 3 whole seconds later than the iPhone, and checking the most popular apps, it only loaded in Twitter faster than iPhone. The most interesting was the image render times, where Apple also doubled down on Samsung. If you're interested in the comparison deeper, read more in the article at the you know where. After the previous one, you may lose trust a bit in Samsung, but please don't. Maybe their flagship can be beaten, but there are really good deals in their product line as well. If you're looking for a mid-range smartphone, we definitely recommend the Galaxy A53. Its screen nose around the same as Nothing Phone, it has a decent but not too fancy Exynos chipset and a 5K mAh battery, making it a not special but not bad phone at all for $500. Though, as I just told you, Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra didn't get so good scores, but it's still the best Samsung can offer, so if you wanna go for Samsung flagship by loyalty, who are we to stop you? But if you're satisfied with a bit less, for a much lower price, then get Galaxy S21 FE. You won't regret it. If you're a foldable fan, then Galaxy Z Flip 4 will be your pick. If you don't have its predecessor because not much updates were made on it. But if you're new, then start with the 4 because it's better for flexing. Talking about starting, if you want a really basic one, I mean for a first phone for someone, pick the Galaxy A23 5G. Though there are cheaper phones as well, but in price-quality ratio, you won't find better at Samsung. And finally, considering compactability, the Galaxy S22 is the most practical choice as it has the best performance size ratio. For detailed justifications, read more at the link in the description. Are you usually sloppy with your phones? Then forget everything what we said before and listen well, because here are some rugged phones that are made for actually heavy duty. Samsung also has an answer for that. Galaxy X Cover 5 can stay 1.5 meters underwater for half an hour, and you can drop it easily onto even metal surface from the same height. Or you can choose Nokia XR20, which is their first try on this market, but they topped it with a Corning Gorilla Glass Victus, so that adds a lot to durability. Blackview BV9900 is also a good choice, as it's not only rugged, but it also has quite strong hardware specs as well. There's also Ulefone Armor 9, which is considered the best on the market right now, with an endoscope and a FLIR camera for harder jobs and an affordable price, while Doji S97 Pro stands out with a huge 8500 mAh battery and one of the fastest performance of its kind. But if you're not into extra features above durability, then pick QuickTel WP8 Pro, which is so entry level that it even has a micro USB port, but at least it won't mind a drop. To find out more of the ROG universe, click on the related link below. You may not notice, but Android phones had a huge flaw until November. When you locked your phone went bypassed under a minute, and that let hackers full access to your content. That is a major mistake, and the tech YouTuber David Schultz showed it in his video how it can be done, and thus called the attention of Google to it, who not only fixed the issue, but sent $70,000 to him for the bug busting. To make sure you don't run into this, update your phone immediately. But not all updates for the better. Windows 11's latest system update left several users complaining, as it apparently decreases game performance. This is no surprise after they admitted that they unintentionally enabled GPU performance debugging, which is something that we simply don't do while we game. This is the second straw after AMD users feel the drop in performance for a year now. Though only 15.44% PC users worldwide have the Windows 11, 71.29% still sticks to the 10th edition, and 9.61% still use the Windows 7, 3 times more than Windows 8. Can you imagine something that exists in the air and you cannot see it? No, it's not a molecule, it's Wi-Fi. And if you thought Wi-Fi is Wi-Fi and nothing more, then you were wrong. Developers just reached the 7th edition of Wi-Fi, and though it's not publicly available yet, the technology is already in the draft phase. It will use the entire 6 GHz, so that's a lot of speed to ensure low latency. But we wouldn't go into more detailed numbers because it will only arrive in 2024, and a lot can change until that, but we like things that we can wait for. Well folks, that was it for today. We know it was a lot of information to process in a relatively short interval, but if you spend some time with our articles below, everything will clear out. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like before you leave, and don't get lost in the jungle of choices too much. Keep up with the geeking, and I'll see you next time.